Hey, hey, happy day, the radical left. They're a bunch of crazy people. They're deranged leftists, and what are we going to do about them? We got to fix it somehow. They're making everybody crazy. I call the left names all of the time, and what happens? Hey, they're not really names. I call them what they are. And what happens is I get censored and shadow banned and all of this stuff. Pick your wordage, you know, and I got to tell you, I'm a bigot, I guess, and I'm an extremist, and then purge me, get rid of me, and everybody else like me. That's what the left is all about. They take their cue from old day Soviet Union stuff. They're homegrown communists, and goodbye free speech, and goodbye rights, and goodbye freedoms, and it should be goodbye leftists, because they don't fit in our world, but they continue to try to take over our world, and they're winning right now. So this rant is about awareness. I guess you are aware already, but we got to constantly be aware, and we got to renew that awareness all of the time. We can never, ever let our guard down. We got to beat them back. In Canada, there are lots of them there running amok. And recently, the Prime Minister of Canada, as in a couple of days ago, appointed a new Governor General. The Governor General's job is to make sure that governments run good and that there's no interference and that people don't get taken advantage of, right? Oh, that's not happening. But in any event, she was appointed, and she's not bilingual. She speaks English. She does not speak French. I think she does speak another language, but the bilingualism here I'm referring to is English and French. And I'm going on here. I'll get to her in a minute. She's a full-blood Indian. Her name is Mary Simon. But she doesn't speak French. I repeat, because it's important, because just a few years ago, Justin Trudeau, who is the Prime Minister of Canada, and all of his other liberal friends, 100% of them were against an appointee of the Harper government because he was unilingual. He didn't speak French, and they boycotted Parliament. Boycotted. Now those same people, effectively 100% of them say, it's okay that you can't speak French. Hypocrites all. And you know what? She might be a nice lady. I don't know. Probably so. But she's a special interest group, and she's an Indian. And in her opening address, she said, it's time for major reconciliation. That's not her job. It's not to reconcile between Indians and white folk and others. 1% of the Canadian population, 1%. is full-blood Indian. 99% would not be. And again, it's not her place to come in there and say, well, we're going to make everybody happy and hug now. And reconciliation means, I think that's Indian code for meaning, give me a check, right? And that's just wrong. She has to give royal assent now to every bill that goes through the House and through the Senate. She has to stamp it to make it law. She has that ability to make it not law. Wow, is that legal? Indians control the country now. They have to sign off on so many things. 1%, you never know it. The tail wags a dog all of the time. For heaven's sakes, what do we do here? Close the deal. Close the deal with the Indians. I mean, give them what they want, pay them, do whatever. Finish that business from hundreds of years ago. Finish it. You say the treaties are incomplete, finish them. Sit in a room until you get the job done, or give them the land back. And all us white folk will move to Indiana. Do something. Governments, wow. If you collect, keeping up now, right? If you collect 100 black ants and 100 red ants, and you put them in a jar, put the jar on the table, they're just ants. They live and they walk around each other and everything is fine. Then you pick that jar up and you shake the bejeebers out of it, and guess what? Then you put it back on the table. They're unsettled and they start to fight. A red ant will kill a black ant, a black ant will kill a red ant, and they're beating each other up and everything else. Well, it ain't pretty. So, who's the enemy here? Because the one ant believes the other ant is the enemy. Are they the enemy? Are they enemies to one another? No, they're not. The real enemy is the person who shook the jar. That's the enemy, right? I mean, it's, in our world, in our modern society, you have men versus women, and you have black versus white, and faith versus science, and young versus old, and so many things, the special interest groups, etc. And you know what? Before we fight each other and continue to fight one another, we must ask ourselves, who's the jar shaker? Who shook the jar? Somebody's shaking that jar, just say, and then you all come back tomorrow and we'll have more words of wisdom for you from your wiser advisor. Hey, see ya.